Hey everybody, it's Timothy here with Mana Rocks, and we're going to be doing a special extra episode of By Force for Ravnica Allegiance. This is going to be the Goblin Gathering episode. I hope it works out. We are going to go into this draft, and we are going to force a Goblin Gathering deck. Keep in mind, we might not get the requisite number of Goblin Gatherings. A lot of times I'll draft this, and I've recently been drafting Goblin Gathering in person, and I can't ever seem to pass the threshold of 3 Goblin Gatherings. I've literally taken 3 in the first pack and just not seen anymore. So I will be taking Goblin Gathering over basically any other card in the pack unless I have a really strong reason to think it's going to wheel. I'm also probably going to end up Rakdos, since Goblin Gathering tends to play in Rakdos pretty well, but we could end up in some other smorgasbord of a deck. And that's going to be the game plan. I expect this video to be very short, and I don't expect to do very well, but I figured, hey, I have got a bunch of gems just sitting around. This would be a fun way to kind of top off Ravnica Allegiance. So, if you haven't watched By Force before, and this is your first episode, if I open Ethereal Absolution, but there's a Goblin Gathering in the pack, I'm taking the Goblin Gathering. Yeah, maybe that's not true, but that's the game plan. I do want to say before we go ahead and start that I appreciate you watching, and make sure you like the video if you want to see more, and feel free to subscribe to the channel. I really like to know who's watching. You can comment if you want. If you have anything to say about the draft or By Force in general, any suggestions, let me know. And with that being said, wish us luck. We're trying to get as many Goblin Gatherings as possible. I'm kind of excited, but I'm also just kind of nervous we're not going to open any. I have never opened Zagana in a draft, huh? Alright, so what do you take for the Goblin Gathering deck? The Cavalcade or the Skewer? The Cavalcade or the Skewer? I think Skewer's still just better than Cavalcade, right? Plus, Cavalcade's going to wheel, right? Cavalcade's going to wheel. If we were drafting for real, we're going to slam this Zagana, but I'm going to take a Skewer. And nope, none in this pack. This, unfortunately, is not a Goblin Gathering. I'm going to take another Skewer here, though, over Carnival Carnage. And this draft should go pretty quick. If there are no Goblin Gatherings, then we don't have much to think about. I think I'd probably just take Rakdos Guildgate here. Not really a red card in the pack, unfortunately. There we go. Boom. Goblin Gathering number 1. Number 1. We found one. We're there. Cards that go really well with Goblin Gathering. Pump spells in general. Blade Brand is a nice one. And Vindictive Vampire is a card I like to have when I have a Goblin Gathering. What do we take here? Storm Strike's probably going to wheel, so it's either Plague White or Drill Bit. I do like Drill Bit a lot, but I'm going to take the Plague White. God, we're going to come out of pack 1 with only 1 Goblin Gathering. Oh, Undercity Scavenger is another card that plays well with this, just because you don't mind sacrificing the Goblin. So I do think I'm going to take that over the other Plague White here. We have 3 Skewers and 1 Goblin Gathering. Alright, there was an Ill-Gotten Inheritance, too. I didn't even really think about that. Easy Footlight Fiend. Cavalcade did come back. We're probably going to take that, right? So far, we have basically 2 cards that work with it. I don't like Roustabout, and since we're doing the jank, let's go full jank here. So we are going to come out of pack 1 with just 1 Goblin Gathering, which kind of sucks. Burden Tree Vandal has kind of some unique applications in this deck where you can pitch a Goblin Gathering, cast another one, and get more Goblins that turn, but I'm still going to take Carnival Carnage. Viscopa Vampire is playable, if not good. Tin Street Dodger to go with our Cavalcade. Ooh, hey, look, every card we were thinking about came back. Let's take Drill Bit here over Storm Strike. And we're not going to play this Debtor's Transport. Active Treason. All right, come on. Bedevil. Well, Bedevil's a nice open, but no Gathering. Come on, where are they? Don't tell me the bots are taking them either. Bedevil's the best card in the pack anyway. Another Bedevil? I've actually seen that happen a lot. Is Bedevil better than Light Up the Stage? Probably, right? Probably. God, no. Where are they? We're getting a lot of good cards. I actually don't know which is better. Fireblade Artist, again, great with Goblin Gathering. It gives you something to do with the tokens once they fall off. I like Noxious Guardian, I like Hackerbat, but I'm going to take the Artist. Another Cavalcade. God, this sucks. Smelt Ward Ignis. Never been impressed with that. I think I'm going to take Footlight Fiend because of the Cavalcade here. And wheel the other Cavalcade. There we go. There we go. Goblin Gathering number 2. Hey, Persistent Petitioner as well. Haven't tried that out before. 2 Goblin Gatherings and 4 Skewer the Critics. Blade Brand in that pack would be really nice. This is actually a tougher pick because I don't really think I need more Rakdos Guildgates, although the Bedevils are a little bit hard to cast. I have 4 skewers. We could consider Blood Mist Infiltrator, which works with the Active Treason, but I'm not really trying to play Active Treason. It's not really a combo with Undercity Scavenger. That's 7 mana to kill your opponent's creature. I don't mind having 1 Rebel Belt Recluse, but I think Scavengers do the trick. So it's probably one of these two, and I think the Imp just keeps you alive. Ooh, there's a Rakdos Trumpeter. Burn Bright is the card you generally want to go with your Goblin Gatherings, but I do think I'm just going to take Trumpeter. Note we haven't seen any Blade Jugglers, which is understandable. We do have 4 Skewer the Critics in our deck, though. Here, Thirst and Shade is so awful. I don't care if... I'm probably going to end up not playing Cavalcade, but Thirst and Shade is just terrible all the way around. I'm going to take Storm Strike. Hoping to get Blade Brand back, but Noxious Grudion's a nice pickup. Alright, here... I think it's just Smelt Ward Ignis over the second Cavalcade. Yeah, let's be a little bit mature here. Same pick here. I wonder if the first Wrecker is better than the second Imp. I'm leaning towards yes. Ooh, Bankrupt in Blood with Goblin Gathering? Basically 5 mana, 2 cards to draw 3 cards. Probably still not good enough, right? And lots of Wreckers. Oh my god. Awaken the Erstwhile, turn all of our Goblin Gatherings into zombie tokens. Gates Ablaze, not really a pick here. It's either Skewer number 5 or Inheritance number 1, and boom, Skewer. 5 Skewer the Critics, 2 Goblin Gatherings. Look at this. Gate Colossus, Basilica Bellhaunt. I hate Spear Spewer. I've grown to just not even want to play this in my Rakdos decks. I think I'm just going to take another Carnival. Light up the stage. Blade Brand. Burning Tree Vandal. I'm going to take Light up the stage. Come on, give me one more Goblin Gathering. Just one more. Is that too much to ask? This is the 3rd Cavalcade. The 3rd. Do you understand how many Cavalcades that is? Wonder if I just take Spike Wheel Acrobat. If you can clear the way with a bunch of Skewer the Critics... And okay, I was kind of dissing whatchamacallit there. What's it called? The Spear Spewer, but I do have 5 Skewer the Critics. We're not going to get another one, are we? Plague White or Dagger Caster? Don't really want to play that many Wreckers. Alright, I think this deck's good, but we do only have 2 Goblin Gatherings. Not going to play Active Treason. Going to have to cut a lot of cards. Probably not playing the Cavalcade of Calamity. We just didn't get enough Gatherings. This is pick 6. We have 2 more possible picks to get a 3rd Goblin Gathering. Also, Dagger Caster normally gets printed with Vindictive Vampire, so there might have been a Vampire in this pack. Wonder if I just take Plague White and we go full-on aggro. We don't need more 4-drops. Wow, Blade Juggler, huh? Alright, 7th pick Blade Juggler, come on. 8th pick Goblin Gathering. Oh, 8th pick Inheritance, though. Oh my god. Oh my god. We could actually have a Cavalcade deck. We could have 3 Footlight Fiends, a Rakdos Trumpeter. Yeah, I guess it still doesn't really pan out, does it? No. What's the pick here, though? Is it the 2nd Inheritance or the 3rd Footlight Fiend with no Blade Brands in our deck? Could also just be the 2nd Scavenger. I think it's just another Inheritance, though. Alright, I am going to take Spear Spewer here. We are super aggro. Oh, and Blade Brand, too? How did we not get another Goblin Gathering? They must not have been opened. I know people probably want me to play these 3... what do I have? 3 Cavalcades? Look at my sideboard. It's all Gorecoin Records and Cavalcades. Sure, deface. Spear Spewer. Oh boy. Well, we forced Goblin Gathering to the best of our ability. I did take everyone I saw. Somehow, I ended up with 5 skewers, though. Alright, I have 54 cards here. Tin Street Dodger out to just go through. Feral Maca. Don't really want Smelt Ward Ignis, I don't know. Viscopa Vampire. A lot of these 4-drops are going to come out. I think Wrecker can go. Geez, our deck, we have a lot of playables. I'm going to play the Goblin Gatherings because, you know, I said I would. We'd go ahead and cut Drill Bit here. Can cut 1 Spear Spewer, Storm Strike. 2 Carnival Carnage. I guess I can board into the other Carnival if it's really good and keep 1 for now. That seems fine. We have a Scorch Mark. We don't really even need Scorch Mark with 5 skewers, right? Is that just not a thing we need? Wish we had more Blade Brands. Also, we have 2 Bedevils, so we can probably cut a lot of the not fantastic removal. Let's get rid of Carrion Imp and Roustabout. And our 3-drops will be Well, maybe Roustabout's still better than Grudion if we're that hyper aggro. Do we need 2 Ill-Gotten Inheritance? It's probably fine. Man, if we don't get the play every single time. Scorchmark just looks a little bit bad when you have 5 Skewer the Critics. Sure, it's an instant. But, alright. I'm thinking we cut like Spikewill Acrobat. I don't want to cut any of these 7 cards right here. It would be easy just to cut the 2 Goblin Gatherings, right? But we're not a punk, so we're not going to do that. Roustabout is one of the Roustabout and Acrobat are standing out to me as the worst cards, but we do need some creatures that actually punch for a little bit of damage. I think the Acrobat's fine. The Roustabout can come out. Acrobat does die to a lot more things, but I think we're going to be able to clear the way of blockers. And I am going to play this Spear Spewer. I guess I can go down a land here. We don't need to play 17 when we curve out at 4. And these 2 are often going to cost 3. So we have 3 4-drops, bunch of 3-drops, and then everything below that is like 1s and 2s. So what do we need? Probably more red than black. Yeah, let's go down a swamp, and shaboom. There's your... Sorry, guys, I just didn't see any more Goblin Gatherings, but this does look like a quote-unquote Goblin Gathering deck, just minimal Goblin Gatherings. And I did say I would play them, so that's what we're doing. By force, Goblin Gathering. Again, feel free to like and subscribe before we get into these matches. I expect this to be a short video, but we'll see how we do. Yeah, see you in the matches. Alright, welcome to By Force Episode 1, Skewer the Critics. Goblin Gathering. It's kind of hard to tell on account of how many skewers we have. No red mana in this hand, but we can cast these 2. And we have 8 red sources in the deck. I think that's fine. We get to go Footlight Fiend into Plague White, and if we draw a mountain, we have okay follow-ups. What do we most want to play with this deck? Probably just other Rakdos decks, since we've got really good sideboard in our Carnivals. Excuse me, and we can probably keep pace with their creatures. Wouldn't mind just drawing more swamps here either. Scream and Shield, okay. Well, that's at least something to cast next turn, if nothing else. Alright, plus O plus 3, and it mills you. I've seen this card do work before. Alright, what do we have? Wall of Lost Thoughts. So opponents go and mill here, possibly High Alert, but they played a Forest, so that could be like Tower Defense. They milled 1 land. Ooh, look at that. They milled 4 cards, which I wouldn't have been able to cast 2 of them. Milled over Swamp into the mountain. Look at that. That's crazy. So I do have an option here of attacking and then when they block, using Skewer to finish this off. And then just playing another Footlight Fiend, and that means they don't get to equip here, but this costs 3 to equip. And I think I'd rather just use this turn to get down another Goblin Gathering, or rather the first Goblin Gathering. They didn't mill one, did they? Mill could be a little bit interesting against Goblin Gathering. Also, I expect Inheritance to be decent against this opponent. Did not block Plague White, interesting. So do we Skewer this? And then play Footlight Fiend and just keep them off of equipping. If all they do with their turn is equip, that doesn't change anything, though. So I think I'm just going to go Goblin Gathering and pass. And see if they play like another Wall of Lost Thoughts or something like that. Blue-Green Mill is unique. Looks like they're just going to equip, so we're probably getting in at least 3 damage next turn. We have given up our opportunity to kill the wall, but we also get to just jam Ill-Gotten Inheritance here. And with Ill-Gotten Inheritance, I don't even mind just drawing a bunch more lands because the 4 extra damage could be useful. My opponent's not going to be in a position super early to activate this because it costs 2 mana to activate it. And if they're just playing like 2 drops plus activate and Wall of Lost Thoughts, that's fine. I think we're fine. Plus we have, a Skewer in hand plus 4 more in the deck, which is just a bunch of burn damage. We're going to attack with everything, no point skewering or anything like that. It is nice that we stuck the Inheritance, which means we just have auto, whoa! The other Goblin Gathering. We have, whatchamacallit? Auto, what is this called? Spectacle. The one card I'm worried about most here is Fairy Duelist. I don't think that stops me from attacking. It would be kind of annoying because they could blank some damage from Plague White, eat a token, block another one, and only take 1 damage. Alright, I'm kind of expecting it here. They don't get to kill Plague White if they have Fairy Duelist, though, because it would still shrink the Duelist. They wouldn't have any power. Alright. They're going to do something. They're going to do like Stony Strength. Oh, Growth Spiral. Okay. Sure, I could still do something else here. They are still going to get to mill, which is interesting. But they're actually very close to dying. I'm going to put 4 more power on board here. Can't play around Quench. At least we can't play around Quench with the Goblin Gathering, but I think they're just going to mill us here. And they don't have sweepers in these colors. I didn't even notice they played an Azorius Guildgate, which could be high alert. Alright, game 1 goes to us. Nice, I like it. Deface. Okay, we have Deface in our sideboard. It kills artifacts and it kills defenders. They showed us an artifact and a defender. Do we bring in Deface when a lot of our removal is not going to be able to kill those? No. I think what we do is bring in the creatures that are more likely to get through bigger creatures. Wow, Cavalcade is actually really good against defenders, but we shouldn't board as if they're just straight up defenders. They're probably going to have things like Pegasus and stuff like that. So what I like is the Death Toucher, and this could be alright. The Roustabout gets a little bit better here. It punishes them for blocking if they can't actually kill my creature. Spike Wheel Acrobat I like quite a bit. Probably don't want Carnival Carnage. Probably fine with Spear Spewer in this matchup, since it looks like with the Screaming Shield in the main board, they're just full on mill. So I'm expecting, you know, Thought Collapses and stuff like that, more walls. I think I'm going to cut Carnival Carnage. The 1 damage is never going to be relevant against a potential high alert deck. Could cut 1 Skewer here as well, or one of the Inheritances. It could be just a bit too slow, but Inheritance is probably one of our better cards here. I think I can afford to go down 1 Skewer since it's not going to straight up kill a lot of their creatures. And yeah, we'll try this out. See you in game 2. Alright, game 2 up. Spear Spewer seems great in this matchup just because they're not going to pressure our life total too much, unless they actually have high alert. With that being said, I might just play Footlight Fiend first. I could also get down Rakdos Guildgate this turn. No, let's go ahead and play Spewer, because we know it's going to start dealing damage to him. And then next turn we can go Guildgate plus Footlight Fiend just to use our mana up. Turn after Grudion. Let's see what wall they have here. Also, don't mind just running a Footlight Fiend into a Quench. Oh man, if they Quench Footlight Fiend, I'll be so happy. They didn't have a wall there. Could have a fairy. Could have a number of things there that could have cast for 2 mana. Aeromunculus. Alright, opponent actually has pressure? This is nonsense. Ooh, Inheritance. So this turn I think it's pretty easy. Grudion. I could probably get away with an attack with the Footlight Fiend. But I think I'm going to go Grudion, take my damage from this Aeromunculus, and then Inheritance. Hopefully I'm not under too much pressure. But sticking the Inheritance would be very nice. Then we've got action after that. The Grudion can get in there or hold back a big ground creature. Opponent does not have white mana, but it didn't seem like that was very important for their deck. It's weird. They're like Simic Mill, but probably just have good Simic cards in their deck too. I'd actually be really happy if my opponent just like adapted this Aeromunculus and attacked, but probably a little bit too smart for that. Oh, Locket, beautiful. Could be in trouble next turn. There's a chance they don't even attack here, though, because of the Footlight Fiend. They might not want to take extra damage, but I'm going to resolve this ill-gotten Inheritance. And I'm going to keep activating Spear Spewer right now. Nope, they did not attack. Interesting. Let's go ahead and spew some spears. Skewer. Okay, this turn, We could skewer this while we have the chance, but I don't think they can just afford to adapt that. Also, they might just trade for Grudion here anyway, right? So attack with Grudion, see if they want to take the bait. Nope. All the damage we can get in is great against this thing. And we stick an Inheritance. So we're up 2 points of damage. We have constant damage coming in. Wall of Lost Thoughts. Okay. I think we're going to win this game. It looks like the opponent also might just be missing a land drop here. Gather into the graveyard. 2 lands and a Blade Juggler. So if we draw the other Goblin Gathering, it's just going to be Hordling Outburst. And yeah, this is pretty close to over if that's all my opponent's got this turn. Oh no, we're on attacks. Yeah, this is why we brought in the Grudion. It can just attack into 0/4s. Alright, we're gonna skewer Aeromunculus pre-combat. Oh, never mind. We're probably just gonna play another one of those. Let's go and attack with Grudion here. If they have Quench, they have Quench. If they have Fairy, then sure, they have the Fairy. Ooh, looks like Fairy. Could also have like a pump spell. Okay. I don't... Oh, on wall? So they're going to 2-for-1 themselves? They're going to trade the wall plus the Gift of Strength for Grudion. Okay. Let's just play another Inheritance. Double Inheritance is sick. Thank you. Wall of Lost Thoughts? Okay. Sure. You gots it. These skewers are probably going upstairs. They're probably not killing this Aeromunculus at this point. They milled a skewer, 2 lands, and a Bedevil. Okay, yeah. Opponent has to start attacking here, basically, if they have any hope of just not straight up dying to these Inheritances. But them stuck on lands, I don't think they're getting out of this. We're doing 3 a turn just passively. It's not counting anything we're casting here. Skewer, we go 3/3. Let's go and light up the stage first. We have 1 more skewer in the deck. We took 1 out. Footlight Fiend land. And then we'll go Plague White plus skewer upstairs. We just don't even care about our opponent's Aeromunculus. And we're not attacking this turn, but we can start jamming Footlight Fiends next turn. Yeah, they're in trouble. There's Azorius Guildgate, but probably a little bit late for that. Ooh. Oh, I didn't Spear Spewer. Whoops. Not going to matter very much, I don't think. Also, opponent probably has, like, Thought Collapse here. Yeah. Alright. That was savage, but we did play against a deck that we're very well positioned against, I think. So maybe not indicative of how this whole video is going to go, but man, that was fantastic. Yeah, if I just straight up scrub out from there, I'm happy. That played out quite well. Let's go to match 2. See you there. Alright, we did get the play here. We have no 1 or 2 drop, but I'm still going to keep this. We have a lot of 1s we can draw, and a lot of action if we just draw a 3rd land. So majority of our deck is going to be hits. We do have a couple 4 drops. We could just not make it here. Alright, Blade Brand, not quite the 2 drop. If my opponent plays a creature, I will actually cycle Blade Brand here, just to try and hit a 3rd land. That works too, so Goblin Gathering it is. Opponent playing Gates, the good old Orzhov Guildgate into Simic Guildgate. Blade Brand lets us basically get through any creature. Ooh, well, they could have Quench here, or Fairy. Always got to worry about the Fairy. Not playing around counter magic either, so it's we don't have any guild gates. We can just afford to run that out. See if they have Quench. No Quench either. I'm pretty sure they would have quenched Blade Juggler. Do we just start skewering them? Nah. Don't know what they're playing exactly yet. Just the stray Simic Guildgate really removes a lot of your guesses, right? Oh my god, they might be high alert too. Alright, well, let's skewer Persistent Petitioner. Yeah, and if for some reason this doesn't work, we'll attack in with Blade Brand. They could have Summary Judgment here to kill Blade Juggler. Looks like they do in fact have that. Alright. Alright. Opponent got us good there. I mean, none we could do about it. One card we would lose super hard to here is Gate Colossus. Rester's Admonition. Respectable. Kills a token. Do need to draw a few more creatures here. Opponent did miss a land drop though, so no big fatties coming down. And we get to add something to the board this turn. I'm assuming my opponent's playing something along the lines of Esper Control with a green splash for something. You know, they might have a Hydroid Krasis or something along those lines. Really would have liked to stick an Inheritance here. It's probably one of my better cards against a control deck. Just kills them unless they have Mortify. Alright, Slime Bind the Plague White. Looks like they're heavy blue. Casting a lot of blue cards here. Oh, Undercity Scavenger would be a great draw with this Plague White. Trumpeter, as long as my opponent's not adding, you know, Grasping Thralls to the board and everything, these are fine draws. I'm not pressuring my opponent very much. I do have 6 points of burn in hand, though, and at least Trumpeter is a mana sink if they don't do anything else. I think they're stuck on blue mana, though. Just cast one blue spell per turn. Is Trumpeter going to bite it here as well? Make that 9 points of burn. Well, I'm definitely going to attack with the Trumpeter and pump it, and I assume it's going to die. Another Summary Judgment, huh? Can't stop that. Still get in there with this Soul Goblin token. Alright. Do think we're falling pretty far behind. Our opponent has played a bunch of removal spells, Slime Bind as well. Yep, there goes Colossus. I'm going to attack into that and try to Blade Brand, but this game might be over. I have Bedevils and whatnot. It's not over. That was a pretty bad draw, though. Alright, let's get in there. Opponent is not going to block if they've played this format at all. And what's the plan here? I could deal 9 to Colossus, or I could deal 9 to them and put them down to 3. And that makes additional skewers lethal. So I could just cycle Blade Brand at some point to try and hit another skewer. I think I keep 1 in hand here and play out my land in case I draw like Ill-Gotten Inheritance. I might get to a point where I cast and activate it. Something along those lines. Alright, opponent gets in for 8. And follows up with... geez. Okay, well, game is now officially over, I believe. That 6 extra life is good. Light up the stage. Also a good draw. Attack with that Plague White. They're gonna... Oh, they did not block. Alright, let's light up the stage. Footlight Fiend. Alright, let's not show the opponent any more of our deck. We're actually just dead on board. And that's part of the reason I don't like the Gate deck. My opponent played 2 cards and won the game. The Angel wasn't as much of a problem, but geez, the... whatchamacallit? Spear Spewer's probably pretty good. I could see Drill Bit being pretty good here as well. Not good against Colossus necessarily, but good in general. I found Discard to just be pretty good against like the 4 and 5 color decks. I mean, Spear Spewer's fine. I think if we had had a Spear Spewer there, we might have won. This doesn't quite do anything. Don't want to just bring in more creatures here because they're not super effective. And Deface also kills Colossus, but not quite good enough. The Goblin Gatherings are so bad here, but I said I would play them. I think Spike Will Acrobat can go. Yeah, Acrobat can probably go here. And then Active Treason could be really good against Colossus. Alright, those are considerations. I have, what, one Carnival in the deck at the moment? Don't think I want more than that. Not even sure if I'm bringing in Drill Bit that I want another Carnival. Because the Carnival side's basically dead. Inheritance would have been pretty good if we'd drawn it on time that game. And Active Treason's pushing it a little bit, but I think it'll be fine. I guess Footlight Fiend's not amazing here, especially with a Skewer coming out. Alright, let's run it back. See you in game 2. Alright, this is a similar hand to last time. No pressure, and we are going to need to draw something to deal damage early on. Otherwise, our opponent will just take us over in the late game. We have 2 Spear Spewers and a Footlight Fiend, a couple 2-drops here. Obviously, just drawing a 3rd land would be okay. Not great, but it would be okay. Oh, we drew another 4-drop. So, I don't feel like I can even win a game where I miss a land drop this early on, but I'm playing 16 lands, so that's acceptable. Just accept that we lose a game to a better deck sometimes. Alright, that's a little late. And it's a little unfortunate that they have all their mana open now. Wouldn't mind if this gets hit by a Slime Bind, but I'm assuming Summary Judgment. There's no reason not to attack, because they're going to have the Summary Judgment whenever they have it anyway. I can't, I guess I could have held that in hand and then sacked it to guarantee damage. Wow, look at this hand. Embarrassment of riches. Let's discard. I guess Drill Bit's not going to be effective at this point. Sure. I'm ready to probably just concede this game. What are we going to do? Draw a land and cast 1 Skewer per turn here? Just missing land drops really killed us there, and our opponent's deck's way better than ours. Deploy also gained them 2 life, but I'm all about not wasting our time here. Anyway, we were going to lose that game if we had played it out. There's no doubt about it. Even if we start hitting lands, we were dead. And that does it for game 2. See you in match number 3 coming up. Alright, now it's getting ridiculous. Let's mulligan. Guess we're keeping this. Need Swamp on top. Do we keep that? Because we still need to hit black mana. I think we have to mulligan toss that. This hand kind of sucks. 16 land deck, you still shouldn't be drawing 0 landers, though. It's acceptable to draw a 2-lander. Alright, Trumpeter hurts. And this is all we've got until we draw a swamp. Although if we do draw a swamp, I kind of like our position. There we go. There we go. That's good. Let's go ahead and attack Footlight Fiend in here. Shaboom. And we'll just play Trumpeter and pass. And against an Orzhov deck, I really want to stick this Ill-Gotten Inheritance. Plus Undercity Scavenger on 4 mana is nice. Against Esper, though. I think we want, like I said, we want to play against other Rakdos decks. We don't want to play these grindy control games because their late game is just so good against us. Are we expecting the Fairy from this opponent? What happens if they have Fairy? They shrink this and eat Footlight Fiend? Still, I could just attack with Trumpeter, but that's fine. They have Summary Judgment or something, sure. Let's see if they want to counter a Goblin Gathering. No, no counterspell. Alright. Also no gates from the opponent, so I don't think this is going to go quite the route of the last game. Syndicate Messenger is pretty good. Pretty good. Ooh, the other Goblin Gathering. So, it's a little awkward. We could attack with everything. They eat Footlight Fiend. I deal 1, 2, 3, 4 to them, and then we play another Goblin Gathering. Might get to the point where we can just burn them out or start attacking with everything. Alternatively, I can go ahead and skewer this and turn it into a 1/1. Attack for 4. I could also just hold the skewer for later. I think I'm just going to attack with everything here. They're probably going to eat Footlight Fiend. That's fine. Put my opponent down to 12. And I'll just add 3 more 1/1s to the board here. This makes it so that when I draw the 4th land, if my opponent doesn't just play like a billion Grasp and Thralls in a row, then Inheritance will be pretty far ahead for us. I guess Grasp and Thrall is probably the card I'm most worried about. Spirit of the Spires, not as much. Alright, Carnival Carnage, huh? So if I attack with everything, they either eat Trumpeter here and take 5, or they block 2 goblins and take 3, 4. I really need a land here. I've got 4 points of burn, putting them down to 8. I think I'm supposed to just keep attacking here. If I had drawn a 4th land, I'd feel very good about this match. Alright, they are going to eat the Trumpeter. I could kill Spirit of the Spires here with the Skewer. Or we could, I mean, with 4 more Skewers in our deck, though, I don't think we do that. I think we Carnival. Just thinking if we draw like a hasty creature next turn or something. I'm going to go ahead and throw a Skewer at their face here. And pass the turn. Alright, no Grasping Thralls, please. No Grasping Thralls. So, Skewer is an actual win con now, and we have 4 in the deck. Also, they got to be careful how many of these flyers they actually attack with. They could attack with probably one of them. Alright, no attacks at all. Rakdos Guildgate's fine. I am not attacking with my flyers this turn, or my ground creatures this turn, because I only get in 1 damage and I don't have the Skewer. But next turn we can play Inheritance, and then our opponent's got to clock us pretty quickly. They do have 7 mana, 4 cards in hand. You know, we're not looking amazing here. They've got actual damage on board. But we have 4 lethal top decks. Uh-oh. We do have to draw it pretty quick now, I think. And they're probably still not attacking here, right? Right. All right, we did draw a Skewer. Let's just go for game here. We can play around Quench. I can't think of an instant speed life gain effect they can have. They could kill their own creature here to prevent 1 damage with Carnival. Since it doesn't target them, they could kill their own Chillbringer or bounce it back to their hand and not take this 1 damage. Yeah, let's Skewer you, see if that works. Alright, top deck Skewer, nice. Goblin Gathering takes a game, takes a match against a deck with a bunch of flyers and an ill-gotten inheritance. Grudion seems decent against a bunch of big butt flyers. The Spear Spewer I do not like against other inheritances, though. Smeltward Ignis could also be fine. Take one of their creatures. Spikewill Acrobat's going to trade with most things, but it does hit super hard. Just like where our deck is at. Plague White's pretty decent against some of their cards. Yeah, I don't really like the Spear Spewer here, especially on the draw. Bring in another 2-drop. Tin Street Dodger is not the 2-drop I want. I guess Carnival Carnage still isn't great against them. So let's take that out, bring in Ignis. Ignis does have the upside of being able to take one of their flyers and maybe bash them with it later on in the game. Alright, on the draw against, I guess, Esper Flyers. Control. We have 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop. No removal, though. Opponent mold to 6 and starts off with the plains. Alright, we don't want to draw any more lands this game, basically. We just want to draw non-stop Skewers. We want to... Oh, never mind. For some reason, I just blanked there and thought I didn't play my Footlight Fiend. Ooh, good draw is good. Again, Quench and Fairy Artisan are cards that could get us here. Fairy Duelist, not Fairy Artisan. At least they can't eat Fireblade Artist with the Duelist, but they could have a Summary Judgment, and that's fine. Alright, possible Thought Collapse. We are drawing a lot of lands, so anytime I have 6 lands in my 16-land Rakdos deck and they dealt with one of my early threats, I'm going to assume I died. Wow, they had the Duelist too. Alright. Well, we're getting punked left and right here. I'm going to play Trumpeter over Goblin Gathering here, just because Goblin Gathering can't attack through this thing. All right, our opponent mulled to 6 and had pretty good turnout against us here. Just managed to swiftly deal with both of our cards. Almost wish I had gotten them to use that Judgment on this Trumpeter. Plus, they've hit all their lands. They're going to play something that blocks Trumpeter. Ooh, Inheritance. All right, well, let's go ahead and attack. And I'm going to play Inheritance. Could get countered, but still think it's right to play that rather than pump the Trumpeter. And this pressures the opponent a little bit more, even though they're probably going to play a bigger flyer. No Chillbringer, nothing like that. We can play 2 things this turn, or we can pump. I think we just play out the 2 cards. The Goblin Gathering basically tells our opponent to stop attacking us. All right, let's, if they have Quench, I want them to quench the Goblin Gathering, but I'm going to play it in that order anyway. If I really wanted to play around a counterspell, I guess Quench specifically, I could have held my 5th land, played Goblin Gathering, they probably would have quenched that, and then played a land and played Plague White. Ooh, Blade Juggler. All right, I'm going to attack with everything. No, I don't think we throw away these goblins here. Do attack with these 2. See what kind of instance they have. No black mana, so I'm expecting them to have black cards in their hand. But I don't think they have counter spells. They haven't cast anything besides these first 2 spells that wrecked us. Oh, Skewer. Let's just hold that right now, I think. We're definitely not going to Skewer the Duelist, and the Skewer upstairs is almost GG. Alright, now we're attacking with everything. What's their best block? They go block Blade Juggler, eat a Goblin. They take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They can't afford to do that. Double block Trumpeter is just not going to happen. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and just attack with everything. If they want to eat a couple creatures, that's fine, but they're probably going to have to trade for Juggler. Yeah, we're going to pump Trumpeter and play another Plague White, I think. And then we have Ill-Gotten Inheritance up to activate next turn. That token's just not going to matter here. These Plague Whites can't even be blocked by their creatures effectively. I think this is a good game. Let's see what they've got. Azorius Skyguard, nice. Doesn't matter too much, but wow, does that card wreck us. All of your opponent's creatures get -1, -0, but they're just dead to the Inheritance here. We're going to Skewer for good posterity. Boom. All right, we took a second match. Feels good. Our opponent wrecked us pretty hard there at the beginning and then didn't do anything for 4 turns. I'm willing to bet they had black cards in their hand they just couldn't cast. And we get rewarded with a Regal Bloodward. Wow. All right, so we're 2-1. Remember, 1 more loss takes us out, but I wasn't expecting to go super far here. But we get to keep playing at least 1 more match, and hopefully we get the Rakdos Mirror. Anyway, that's going to do it for round 3. We'll see you in match number 4. All right, continuing the trend of being on the play. Pretty keepable hand. We have the Spear. We'll see how good it is here. And we can cast everything in our hand. We've also gotten to cast quite a few Goblin Gatherings this game, which feels nice. We're against, I assume this is Red Deck Rex, but it's actually Re-Deck Rex, which I'm not entirely sure what that means. It's like Deck Rex, but again, because of the Re, you see. Gotta read it fast. Red Deck Rex. Ooh, we're against Rakdos. Oh, no 2-drop, though. And Spear is at its worst against other Rakdos decks. All right, we got the Plague White, which is going to get Carnivaled here for sure. Not going to Carnage. Let's just go ahead and do that right now. Let's go ahead and spear some spears. Got to make sure to always do this on the opponent's end step, not anytime during their turn. So if I have to go like block, you don't activate, you just let it die. Because they could have spectacle cards of their own, and you do not want to turn on your opponent's spectacle cards. It's bad play. All right. Ill-Gotten Inheritance would be very nice draw here. Ooh, opponent doesn't have anything to play this turn, though. That means every point of damage we can get ahead lets Spear kind of finish the job. Plus, if they have single target removal, they may not be willing to use it. Oh, we drew Inheritance. That's awesome. All right, let's go ahead and attack with our Dragon Fodder tokens, Krenko's Command tokens, Beetleback Chieftain tokens. Those are all cards that make 2 goblins, by the way. Pow Pow, play Inheritance. Inheritance is kind of like the Mirror Breaker if you're not under a lot of pressure, because the life gain from this card extremely relevant against other Rakdos decks. Opponent had no 3-drops. Let's see if they have like a Firewheeler or something here. Carnage. Oh, they're going to get the last 2 cards out of our hand. It's pretty good. Our last 2 cards are nice. And I'm just going to keep that in hand in case they... no, I guess I play out my lands here because of the Inheritance. Now, if they have a bunch of big follow-ups, we could fall behind here, because this is only like a 6-turn clock with just the Inheritance plus the Spewer. We were kind of relying having those 2 cards in hand to deal with any big threats that came down. Opponent's end step, we go ahead and Spew. So my life total is currently not really changing very much. The Inheritance cancels out the Spewer, but we get to keep pinging our opponent. And I'm surprised these goblins are getting in here. Alright, probably just running that out. If our opponent has drill bits or more carnages. Do we just... Yeah, this puts our opponent on dead to Inheritance if we ever draw a land. And basically just dead in 2 turns anyway. And this puts them down to 4. We activate. Yeah, they're dead in 2 turns. Next turn if they can't deal with the 2 goblin tokens. What do they have in their Rakdos deck that they can't cast anything with 5 cards? They can't have all 5 drops, right? I mean, they can, but can't possibly have all 5 drops. Alright, against Rakdos, we do want the other Carnage, or Carnival, whatever. We do not want Spike Wheel Acrobat. Probably don't want Viscopa Vampire when they've already shown us a Carnival of their own. And we want Carrion Imp. Tends to be pretty good. I probably don't want Spewer, though. It looked good there, but that's because my opponent didn't pressure us at all. Carrion Imp's another kind of quote-unquote mirror breaker for Rakdos. Just adding a body, gaining life is so important against Rakdos. Don't think Garudion's what I want here. I don't think Ignis. I don't think 1 toughness creatures in general are what I want. But we're still going to play like our Plague Whites, because they attack through our opponent pretty nice. Anyway, that went in our favor. Let's see if we can do it again in game 2. Alright, I like this hand quite a bit against our opponent. The Carnival, very relevant against maybe a turn 2 Plague White. The light up the stage for late game advantage. We have a turn 2 play. Hopefully they just play something I can Carnival and I get to use all my mana. The Light Fiend would have been a good draw. We're still going to play Plague White here. And see what they follow up with. Nice. So, Plague Whites can attack through other Plague Whites. Would have loved to land there. I'm going to attack and then probably light up the stage, hoping to just hit lands. Assuming they don't block. I guess, yeah, never mind. Plague White can block Plague White. No, it can't. It just dies. Yeah, let's try to hit some lands here, and if not, we'll probably Carnival. Kind of awkward we have to use the red, too. Alright, we did draw that in a Blade Brand. Huh. We're not going to cast Blade Brand next turn. Still think we just play Footlight Fiend and let the Blade Brand go. This lets us go ahead and Carnival on our opponent's turn, stop them from having a Blade Juggler. Could also just trade Footlight Fiend for Plague White. Footlight Fiend dies to the block. Gorklan Wrecker. Okay, I'm not too worried about that. Oh, please give it haste. Alright, I'm assuming they're not going to attack here. Plague White can still attack through Wrecker. That's why this card is so good in Rakdos. It just attacks through your opponent's 3/3s. Or trades for them. Okay, guess we can Carnival to kill that. Carnage is going to be so good against them, though. They're empty-handed. No, let's just pop your boy. Keep my Footlight Fiend on board. They can't attack Footlight Fiend, or they can't block it next turn, or I'll use the Blade Brand. Ooh. And I'm not blocking them because of Menace. Opponent. Alright, we're not going to play anything else this turn, though, which is... Deals 1 damage to any target. Okay, doesn't have to hit my own creature or anything like that. So I'm giving up a little bit of tempo here to get rid of my opponent's threat. Might have been better to just attack with Plague White and play Inheritance. Because what if they play like Rebel Belt Recluse? Oh, full-on Blade Juggler. Alright, that is a juggly boy. Alright, I'm going to get an Inheritance down first. Let's attack with Plague White first, see if they want to block. They're pretty far behind, so they might. And if I can stick Inheritance on an empty board, that'd be great. Okay, they let it through. We'll go ahead and drop Inheritance. We've got this Carrion Imp to kind of help us pave the way. Opponent's already half dead, and we're still at 20. Opponent does have a lot of cards in hand, though. I'm not worried about Carnage, because that's going to use basically a whole turn for them to cast that, and I don't mind discarding Goblin Gathering here. I'm worried about like a big creature like Rebel Belt Recluse. Also, 5 skewers. Ooh, skewer of your own. Nice. Into another Blade Juggler. Ooh. Does hit them for 1. It's not irrelevant here. Okay. Undercity Scavenger was not what we wanted to draw. Let's go Carrion Imp. Do one more Swamp and be pretty happy. Problem is, if we draw a Swamp, we can't go Bedevil plus Blade Juggler, so maybe I'm supposed to go Juggler here, try to draw a land, and then like Goblin Gathering. Basic off the top. Okay, oh, another Bedevil I can't cast is not exactly great. If they can kill Blade Juggler and keep attacking, you know, we could lose this game. I'm definitely going to block a Blade Juggler if they play one. I also need to draw specifically Swamp for my to be able to cast 2 things in the same turn. Because if I draw another mountain, I can play Goblin Gathering, but I can't play either of the Bedevils. Alright, trade in a Blade Juggler seems good here. Let's see what they follow up with. More Blade Jugglers, maybe? I still feel fine with the Carrion Imp at my disposal. Electro Dominance me for a lot and then cast another Blade Juggler. Wow. Opponent is going off here. Okay, Skewer was great. So now I can go Carrion Imp plus Skewer. This lets me kill a Blade Juggler. Oh, do I just Skewer them? Let's eat a Blade Juggler. This puts us to 12. Alright, this is actually tough. Do I Skewer them, put them dead to a land off the top, or do I just Skewer a Blade Juggler and keep playing the long game here? It's a tough decision. They have 2 cards in hand. They're going to have 3. They have a lot of mana, though. And keep in mind, I still have a bunch of Skewers. So they're dead to, like, majority of my deck, right? They're dead to any land off the top. Yeah, we're going to go for the Skewer upstairs. They're dead to any of the other 4 Skewers. I have 6 more Swamps, 4 more Skewers, so that's 12 cards right there that kill them. Plus all of the other mountains kill them with the Inheritance. Alright, Undercity's Embrace. They didn't gain life off that, though. They put me down to 6, and I do have a Goblin Gathering to block these, if nothing else. Ooh, what is this? Dead Rebels? I was thinking maybe we get rid of a Gore Clan Wrecker in case they do have Dead Rebels. Alright, into Plague White. Wow, opponent has drawn the right cards to potentially win this game. And we drew a Skewer, though, so... Boom. Alright, glad we Skewered upstairs. Nice. Well... Our deck is very interesting, let's put it that way. Oh my god, did we just net even on this forced Goblin Gathering deck with 2 Goblin Gatherings? We're 3-1. We get to keep playing too. I didn't think we'd be this far, but kind of happy we are. This deck is sweet. Not amazing, but sweet. Also, our opponent just Electro Dominance into a 3rd Blade Juggler, and we won that game. That's kind of impressive. But yeah, I will see you guys in match number 5 coming up. Alright, this is the first match where we have not been on the play, so I imagine we're just going to lose Plague White, and then 3 drops. So Swamp is our best draw, but we're on the draw, so I don't think we could ever beat Eat and Chill. Oh god, control deck. Oh, with the Footlight Fiend. It doesn't matter what land we play here, because we need to draw another Swamp by turn 3 anyway for that to matter. Alright, we did draw the 3rd land. Let's go ahead and get the Footlight Fiend, see if our opponent wrecks us again with the Fairy. Or Plague White gets quenched. See this come up a lot. Alright, no quench. Confident opponent would have quenched this, unless they had an answer to a 2-1. Ooh, and we drew the Swamp. We could destroy that Locket, but I don't think that's what we want to do. I think we want to attack and just play a Goblin Gathering here. If our opponent has Ethereal Absolution, then whatever, right? By the way, I have not once ever opened Ethereal Absolution in this format. Not in a draft, at least. Sphinx of New Prov. It's pretty good, but we can... Actually, can we skewer that? If we attack, they trade for Plague White. They missed a land drop. Yeah, none of their blocks are great. They block here. Oh, I want to bedevil this so bad now that they missed a land drop. They either trade for Plague White or they just take the damage. They're going to block Footlight Fiend, though. So we're going to be able to skewer that for basically full cost. It's going to cost 2 less to cast Skewer, but 2 more to target the Sphinx. Alright, Footlight Fiend is probably the right thing to block there if you're going to block anything at all. And that happens. Still getting our 1. It's also possible we just want to skewer them. Put them down to 5, but no, let's kill the Sphinx, because we can bedevil the next play. Alright, let's not skewer here. No, I don't want to mute you. You're alright, Eat and Chill. I do not want to mute you. Oh, boy. Oh, boy, with the Shimmer. Looking for a land, I presume. Again, Ill-Gotten Inheritance, just sick draw here. As much as I hate the card Ill-Gotten Inheritance and the fact that it exists as a common in this format, it does quite a bit of work in basically every match it comes up in. Although, there are some matchups where it's really terrible. Alright, we're getting in probably 4 more damage here. We can play 2 more creatures. Not going to play around Kaya's Wrath. Again, if our opponent has Ethereal Absolution, they untap, play a 6th land, and they have Ethereal Absolution, then whatever. But I'm not going to play any differently until I see that. Plus, Rakdos Trumpeter can still deal 2 damage through it. Let's see. Play basic. Alright, Chillbringer. So they're just dead on my turn, right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we don't even have to show them Bedevil or another Skewer. Oh, no, that's right. They could do that. Alright, well, we're going to show them another Skewer, but we're not going to show them Bedevil. They're going to take 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to Skewer upstairs. Yeah, it was correct for them to tap Trumpeter there. That's smart of the opponent. And they're probably figuring they're dead to some sort of trick anyway, so might as well keep Chillbringer on board. And we can Skewer. If we were really worried about showing our opponent more Skewers, we could have Blade Branded there, but that's even more information the opponent has. Took that on the draw. Opponent stumbled on mana. They played a Sphinx and a Chillbringer, which are both good cards, but they are both cards that die to Skewer. So last time we boarded... Well, last time we had a little bit more information. Still think Carnival Carnage is probably pretty terrible in this matchup. I don't really want Carrion Imp if it's not going to be able to punch through the flyers, but Grudion seems fine. Take out Carnival Carnage, bring in Grudion, we'll just call it a day there. Spear Spewer, eh. Oh my god, on the draw I want to keep this hand so bad, but I think we mulligan. Ugh. Sure, let's go to 5. Alright. Alright, light up the stage kind of helps here. I think I'm going to put a skewer on the bottom. We've got 3 more skewers we could draw and 1 already in hand. I need to draw creatures here to have any shot in this mull to 5. If I were playing a 17 land deck, I would have strongly considered keeping that first hand. Because we get 2 shots at drawing our second land. We have a 2-drop and a bunch of stuff to play. Ooh, green mana. The plot has thickened. Unfortunately, our hand is also thickened with lands. Alright, you got the fairy this time? No. I don't think we light up the stage yet. Since we can't cast anything off of it, those cards are just going to end up in limbo. I don't like casting light up the stage when the opponent has an opportunity to see the cards and you don't have an opportunity to cast them. We are just probably going to straight up skewer this thing, though. Can I get a freebie attack with this Footlight Fiend? Probably not, right? Yeah, let's just skewer and attack for 1. Get that before it gets any bigger. Next turn, if we have to suicide in our Footlight Fiend to play Blade Juggler, we will. Chance our opponent also doesn't block. If, ironically, we had shown our opponent Blade Brand last game, there's a chance they don't block this Footlight Fiend with there, and we just get in 1 damage, we skewer for free, but that doesn't let us cast anything else this turn anyway. And we want to get rid of this while it's a 3-3. Once it's out of 3-3 range, we're in trouble. Alright, we're going to attack and probably play Blade Juggler over Light Up the Stage. Light Up the Stage gets a lot better when I have more mana. I'm going to play this before my land drop anyway, because Quench I can't play around. Blade Juggler resolved, that's nice. And we drew a Plague White. Let's get a mountain out there. Alright, let's see what the opponent's 5-drop is. They're clearly playing some sort of gate mashup, so Colossus, stuff like that's nice. I don't mind seeing a Griffin because both of our creatures trade for it. They probably trade straight up for Blade Juggler, but I get to deploy more creatures, and again, opponent's stuck on 4 lands. So let's attack. They block Blade Juggler, I assume. Then we light up the stage. No, took it? Wow. Oh, please let me hit it. Land Inheritance. Actually, don't hit land. Just hit Inheritance. I'll play that and hit something else. Skewer Guildgate. So we go Guildgate, Skewer, Plague White. We're going to skewer the Senate Griffin. If I already had an Inheritance on board, I would probably skewer my opponent there, actually. Because they're in a position where they can't really attack me anyway. Dovin's Acuity is very nice against us. Does gain life, draws them into extra cards, and they hit a land as well. So what are we looking to dodge? Ugh. Well, drawing more lands for sure. I think the Angel would be the worst. The Gate Angel. Just can't attack into it. Yeah, man, that really needed to be a spell, huh? 2 more skewers in the deck. Alright, Chillbringer, that's going to tap down, I assume, Blade Juggler, but Plague White can still attack through Chillbringer. Wow, another land? Really? That's unfortunate. Although, I guess the lower we get our opponent, the closer we are to just playing an Inheritance and winning straight off that. As long as they don't get to start looping Dovin's Acuity. Despite, how far ahead I am on life total, I actually don't like our position here. The fact that our opponent's taken a while to think about what to play, though, is fine. They could be thinking just cast an instant and, replay Acuity for the turn. We've drawn 6 spells this game and 9 lands. We know there's a skewer on the bottom. Skewers aren't even bad draws here. Alright, Sagro Savant. Sure. That is a respectable card. Doesn't block Plague White, but it does block Blade Juggler. I also didn't see what happened there. Oh, that's actually really bad. Vigilance means I can't attack into that. Why didn't they play that and just attack? Why do people feel the need to take forever? I guess their hand must be really good if they had that many options and this wasn't an immediate consideration. Alright, I think we just lose this game from here. I can't attack. They've got a vigilant creature. Let's go and play another Footlight Fiend. Play another land and pass. If we'd drawn like a Bedevil or something, then we'd actually be looking good. But now they've got a creature that stops me from attacking, plus they gain some life, and they've got this potential acuity going. So I think we lose from here. We have the tools. We have the tools. And the fact that our opponent just hasn't played a land and bricked on a land for a while means they're on all spells too. So I don't see how this is going in our favor. I guess Inheritance could still win this game if my opponent just blanks, but we're on an actual clock now with Chillbringer. Come on, Eat and Chill. I thought you were cool. Yeah, I guess if we draw a Bedevil for Chillbringer or an Ill-Gotten Inheritance, we could possibly still clock our opponent. Spikewill Acrobat. Unfortunately, that just trades, doesn't it? I could attack with everything to try and get these off board. And then play Spikewill Acrobat. But what are the chances Spikewill Acrobat actually even does anything here? I want to put my opponent in a position where they have to block it with Chillbringer. But if I attack with everything, they do what? Chillbringer eats Blade Juggler. And then they can only block one Footlight Fiend. Plague White, or I guess Chillbringer, yeah, Chillbringer blocking Plague White is the same as blocking Blade Juggler. I'm going to attack with everything here. Not playing around anything my opponent could have. Yep, this makes sense. So we do get to kill the Savant. Get in 2 damage, which isn't negligible. And play a 5/2, which isn't exactly good against a 10th District veteran. Opponent's best play last turn was 10th District veteran, though. But here comes the 6-drops. Here comes the potential 2 3-drops in the same turn, which could be a 3-drop plus Dovin's Acuity again. Don't think this one's out of our reach at this point. Do mostly to flood here, but opponent got us with some good ones. Well, mainly Sentinel's Mark. That gained them 4 life. They'd be at 5 right now. Plus their Chillbringer wouldn't have had an easy block. Alright, still got decisions to make though. Not just slamming a single card on the table. I like it. Sucks because I feel like I'm losing. I've got to wait to lose, but I like, part of the reason I don't play like super aggro decks and constructed is there comes a point where you know you just lost the game, even though it doesn't look like it on board, and you have like potential miracle draws to win the game, but out of the sake of time, I usually end up conceding those games if it's like a 1 or 2% chance that I draw the right 3 cards in the right order or something like that. Sure, like that. Like my opponent's just... they might be thinking, what do I have? But I have to have what? Exactly Bedevil there or get the point? I guess if I had to get the point, that blows them out. So power to them for thinking about it. I'm going to bring in a Drill Bit here against these Sentinel's Marks. Also, I guess I'll have to play around that a little bit. Gorkline Wrecker seems decent. Spikewill Acrobat does not seem great. Actually might want the Wrecker more than that. Scorchmark. What creatures did they play? They played Senate Griffin and something else. Chillbringer. 10th District Veteran doesn't seem like something I want. Whatchamacallit against. They've got a couple flyers as well. So bring in Drill Bit, bring in Wrecker, bring out Spikewill Acrobat. These Goblin Gatherings are so bad. But we're doing it. We're doing it. We're already this far. I don't know if I want Spear Spewer against an opponent who has Sentinel's Mark. But it does just enable all the stuff. We haven't seen that really happen yet. Also, Bedevils didn't come up when we needed them to that time. I think we just cut Spear Spewer and hope we draw some Footlight Fiends early on. Also hope we don't mold a 5. That was a mold of 5 where we drew 9 lands, but game 3 coming up. 2, 1. I'm gonna keep. I'm keeping. Just draw me a Footlight Fiend and a Swamp, I guess. Yeah, this might be a mole. Not only do we need to draw something early on, but most of our early plays involve black mana. Opponent does mold a 6, though. I mean, I'm keeping mostly on the back that I have a Skewer the Critics for an early play here. But, wow. Yeah, our top decks have not been good on these moles. I guess that's not true. We had some pretty sick top decks earlier, but I don't think we mold those games. Alright, Sage Rose Savant, I'm not going to Skewer. Come on, Footlight Fiend. Or just give me the Swamp now. I'll be okay with the Swamp. 2 to the bottom. Yes, we drew the Swamp. With that being said, do we Skewer actually now? Do we Skewer now? And then hope to play like Wrecker next turn? Or do we hold Skewer for like... I think we just hold it for like a Gatebreaker Ram or something. So we're probably going to play Wrecker next turn as a 3-3, which can block this. Alright, Simic Guildgate. Tempted to also just cycle Blade Brain here, since there's not going to be really much of a time for me to use it between now and then. Well, now you show up. Although, I guess Trumpeter would not have been a great draw. Yeah, let's play Wrecker. If it resolves, we'll put a counter on it. Looks like they're going to Quench. Alright, opponent's got us. Relevant creature on board, all their mana. 2 scries to the bottom. If they play a Ram here, it's going to be a 4-4. It's going to be very hard for me to deal with. Sphinx of Nuprov. Okay. Alright, well, I think I play that because next turn that lets me go. I'm going to take 6 down to 10. This will put me back up to 11, but then I get to go... Ooh, I guess Skewer this and that's it. Maybe that's actually not that great. What's my alternative here? Playing Trumpeter. I think I just play Inheritance. And then next turn I Skewer the Sphinx. If I had 5 mana, I would just Skewer the Sphinx right now, but our opponent might have us on this one. The Quench there was really good. Alright, we can beat a Wayfinder, though. This is probably just searching for a 5th land. They failed Divine. Okay, so they did not want whatever they had there. God, that's so gross. Now we can't Skewer it. Ugh. I guess we draw a Skewer, we can... 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope, we can't double Skewer. Wow, our opponent's got us here, I think. They're not going to fall for a Blade Brand. Oh, I can only play one thing this turn, too. So I think it has to be Blade Juggler, plus I guess just hope to draw Mountain or Swamp. Bedevil. But we don't have a Black Source. Alright, do I have to Skewer one of these? 7. I think I do. That's pretty lousy, but we're going to have to do it. As much as I hate it. Alright, so our out here is drawing a Swamp next turn. And our opponent also not drawing too much else here. Chillbringer too, God. Now Bedevil doesn't even do it, does it? Alright, opponent outdrew us here, which is a shame. Quite the shame. We drew the Swamp as well. Is there any way we survive? Because it costs 5 mana to Bedevil this. And we just have nothing else. Wow. Nope, I think we are dead. We'll go ahead and kill your guy, just because. If we had a Skewer, we could Skewer that and still be alive, but we don't. So, GG opponent. God, they mold to 6 and just... The Quench was actually very relevant. Ugh, we had such a good hand against them, too. We just missing an early gameplay, I guess. And they quenched our first play. That was a very impressive draw from the opponent. Almost perfect. Like the Sphinx, the Sentinels, Totem, the Chillbringer. plus the early interaction. It was basically what they wanted against us, and that's going to cut us short at 3 and 2, which is respectable for this deck. This deck was sweet. I wish I could look at it. Our quote-unquote Goblin Gathering deck with 2 Goblin Gatherings. And as always, we're going to go ahead and open up our packs here. No particular reason, other than to show you what rares I don't have 4 of. Amplifier, apparently. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, this extra little bonus episode of By Force. If you want to see Persistent Petitioners, let me know, but I don't think that'll be nearly as fun. Look at this mess. Look at that. Oh, Theater of Horrors too. Oh, sick. We did get 2 Bedevils, though, although they weren't as relevant as the 5 Skewers. And boom, Glass of the Guild Pact. All right, that's going to do it for By Force. Ravnica Allegiance Edition, unless something else pops up, which you'll see if it pops up. I doubt it will. I don't think I'm actually doing Persistent Petitioners. I don't think that's going to be good or quite as fun as a beatdown Rakdos deck. But thank you for watching, as always. And as I said at the beginning of the video, feel free to subscribe to the channel and just let me know you enjoy the content. So, I know it's worth my time to keep recording content. I know it's not maybe the best resolution or anything like that, but I enjoy playing it. I enjoy sharing it with people, and I would love to hear that other people are enjoying it as well. And find us on Twitter at MTG_ManaRocks. I'd love to chat with anybody about this draft, the channel, anything else you have, any feedback. Let me know in the comments. Let me know on Twitter, and I'll talk to you there. So with all that being said, my name's Timothy here with ManaRocks. Thanks for watching. I'll see y'all next time.